Hello everyone. See students, so today in this class or in this session we are going to study about fundamental rights and duties. What is the meaning of right? Right means something with the authority we have. For example, we have the authority to live, right to survive, right to eat. These are the things we have. These are the basic rights we have already. Those rights which are legally adopted, like right to equality, right to freedom and all, these are the fundamental rights. So in this session we are going to study about fundamental rights and duties. Actually, fundamental rights and duties, they are the two faces of one single coin. You cannot avoid each other. So for the nation to live in harmony, there are constitution has given fundamental rights and duties for the citizens. So who are the citizens who actually have the authority to live in this particular land? They are called as what? Citizens. They have their own responsibilities towards the nation also, when the nation in return is giving them so much of things. Like now, so today we shall begin with fundamental rights and duties. A right means the authority given to a citizen. See, what is the right? Actually, an authority, a freedom given to the citizen. It may be a natural right. What are the natural rights like? It is right to live, right for protection of life. These are some of the natural rights we already have. What about the legally acceptable rights? There might be right to equality, right to education. These are some of the legal rights we have. For the development of individual and the country, some freedom and rights are inevitable. See, for the development of country, for the development of nation, some freedom, for some rights, they are inevitable. Inevitable in the sense they are unavoidable. Those rights cannot be avoided. Hence, our constitution have given some fundamental rights to its citizens. See, our constitution, what it has done, it has given some fundamental rights to its citizens. For we people who are living in this nation, our constitution has given us few fundamental rights and few fundamental duties. Before going to the fundamental rights, let us first study what do we mean by fundamental rights. Fundamental rights are the basic rights given to an individual by the constitution for his development. Then what are the fundamental rights? They are some basic rights. They are some minimum things which the person or citizen living here is going to get. They are some basic rights. For what it has given? It has been given to each and every individual, not only like for the people of higher region or for the people of lower, like there is no any such discrimination. It is given, or the freedom of right is given. Those are the basic rights given for each and every individual living in the country. And it is given by whom? It is not given by somebody else. It is given by the Constitution of India, given by the Constitution for his development. Why it is given? It is given for the development of the individual. They are called as what? They are called as the constitutional rights. Fundamental rights are important for social life. Then why we need these fundamental rights? They are very much required for us to live in this social life, for us to live with each other, for the coexistence. We need these fundamental rights. No one can violate these rights. See, no one can break these rights. The fundamental rights are protected by the judiciary. Who is protecting the fundamental right? The fundamental rights are protected by the judiciary. Now let us study the types of fundamental rights. The Constitution of India has prominently provided how many fundamental rights? It has provided 6 fundamental rights to all its citizens. Then what are those 6 fundamental rights? They are right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to religion, cultural and educational right, and right to constitutional remedies. See, these are 6 fundamental rights given by the Constitution, that is So now let us let us study these rights one by one. First let us begin with the right to equality. The word itself, the word equality itself says that everyone is equal before the constitution. That is what it states, right to equality. First let us focus on it. All are equal before the law. Nobody is above the law and all deserve equal protection are the aspects included in right to equality. Equality, as I said, the word itself suggests that all are equal before the law. No one is more bigger than the law. Everyone, the law sees each and everyone equally, and everyone deserve or everyone should be provided equal protection. These are some things or these are some laws accepted in that or included in that right to equality. The government cannot discriminate on the basis of religion, caste, sector, gender or place of birth. See how the government cannot discriminate. The government cannot discriminate people depending on their religion. All the people following different religion are all equal before the law. It cannot discriminate between the caste, or else it cannot discriminate between the sectors and whether it is genders. The government is not supposed to discriminate between females and males. All the genders have equal rights, and also nobody is being discriminated depending on their place of birth. Everyone is equal. It cannot restrict entry to shop, hotel or recreational places to any of its citizens. See, we all are living here, right, from our birth. Since then, have we ever said that we are not supposed to get entry to this road because we belong to a different religion? The other road, this particularly belongs to some other religion. We are not supposed to enter that. Or the shops, for example, the few shops where only this community can go, where we cannot go. We do not have any such restrictions, right? That is what about right to equality says, is that does not have, or the government which cannot restrict for the entry of shop, hotel or recreational places to any of its citizens. It cannot even restrict anyone from using the public wells, tank, road and resting place. Even these are used by all people of all religion, caste, no matter where they take birth. That is why it is not going to restrict for anyone. All citizens have the equal opportunity to enter the government service. See, all citizens, they all have equal opportunity to enter into the government services. It cannot forbid anyone from entering the holy place and offer prayers. See, government or the law, what it does, it never forbids anyone. It doesn't like, there are no restrictions for entering to the holy places and to offer prayers. They have their own freedom of going to the holy places and worshipping the gods or the religion whichever they wish. There is no any such restrictions. Now let us move to the next right, that is right to freedom. The right to freedom given in the Constitution provides the following to everyone. See, right to freedom, it is going to provide few freedoms for everyone. Let us study what it is. Right to speech and freedom of expression. Each and every individual, each and every person has his own freedom of speech. He can express his thoughts, he can express his feelings and he can express his expressions. He has the freedom of expressions. Right to participate in the peaceful public meeting. See, every individual has the right to participate in the public meeting. What kind of public meeting? Peaceful public meetings. Right to establish institutions and associations. It has provided all the freedom to provide what? To establish institutions and associations. Right to travel throughout the country without any restriction. The law, it has provided us the right to travel anywhere in the entire country without any restrictions. Right to live in any part of India. We can live inside India, anywhere in the parts of India. Right to take up any employment, business or occupation. See, it has not restricted us that only this group of people are supposed to do business, or only this people of group are supposed to enter some particular job. It is there is no such restriction. Any individual can appoint and can choose any kind of job, business or occupation. Freedom cannot be discharged as one likes, though it is the fundamental right. See, we have a freedom of speech. That doesn't just mean that we can use it in the wrong sense. The speech should not be used to harm someone's respect and all. The Constitution itself states that the government can impose restrictions on the individual's freedom on certain occasions. See, the Constitution itself has stated that it can put some restrictions on the individual freedoms depending upon certain occasions, depending upon certain situations. For example, it restricts everyone from defaming someone by uncontrolled words on the pretext of discharging one's freedom of speech. For example, what they have given, I have freedom of speech. That doesn't mean that I am going to use some disrespectful words or disrespectful expressions which is going to affect for someone else whose respect is being lowered. Such type of restrictions is given by the Constitution itself. Freedom of expression or freedom of speech doesn't just mean that we can use it in the destructive way. That is being restricted by the Constitution itself. Right against exploitation. The objective of this right is to prevent exploitation of poor. See, why is this used? To avoid the exploitation of the poor people, women, children and the weaker section of the society. In order to restrict exploitation in the name of religion, caste, gender and sector, the state and the central government have enforced many laws. See, what has done central government and state government, what they have gained? They have enforced, they have brought so many laws in the thought of restricting exploitation of what? Exploitation in the name of religion, caste, gender and sector. To avoid those, state and central government has enforced many of the laws. For example, taking dowry is a punishable offense. Taking dowry, people are not, means when the bride is going to her husband's home or during the time of marriage, lot of money, gold, wealth and all is given. That is an offense, that is going to be an punishable offense. So dowry is not allowed to give, that is a offense. Even the practice of bonded labor is prohibited. See, bonded labor in the sense what? Someone has taken any debt, to overdue that debt or to return off that debt, forcing someone to do the labor, even that is prohibited by the Constitution. Employing children in certain industries such as beedi making, mining and cracker manufacturing have been banned. See, children means those children are not allowed to employ until the age of what? Until the age of 14 years. Now it is until the minimum education should be given. So until the age of 16 years they are not allowed to do any job, especially in certain industries such as beedi making, mining and cracker manufacturing have been banned. The children are expected to get education till the age of 14 years. What is compulsory? Education should be given to the children until the age of 14 years. Next comes the fourth freedom, that is freedom of religion. The citizens of India have the right to accept and follow religion of their own choice. See, the citizens of India, they have their freedom to choose their own religion of their own choice and they can follow any of the religion. Everyone has the right to observe their religious practices without disturbing peace, discipline and hygiene in mind. See, each and everyone have their own rights or their own right to observe whichever religious practices they can do. but the restriction is that we should not harm someone else's peace, discipline and purity of mind or hygiene of the mind. The Constitution also prohibits religious conversion by force, temptation or by falsehoods. See, Constitution, it also has not allowed someone to force to follow the religion by someone forcing with the conversation or by tempting it by many other ways or by some other false ways, some of the ways which are not allowed by the government, like by forcing someone on the basis of life threatening. These are all not allowed by the Constitution of India. Let us look over the cultural and fundamental rights, which is the sixth right. This fundamental right protects the cultural and educational interests of the minorities. See, cultural and educational right, what it is doing, it protects the culture and education right of which people? Of the minorities. People have right to protect their own language, script and culture. See, every individual have the right to protect their own language, own script or culture. The minorities have the right to establish educational institutions and manage them. Minorities, they have the right to establish any educational institution and they can also manage them. But the educational institution of minorities, they have to stick to the rules specified by the government. Whatever the rules are specified by the government, that should be taken in mind or that should be maintained, and these educational institutions can be established. Let us go to the sixth fundamental right, that is right to constitutional remedies. A citizen has the right to approach the court of justice in the event of violation of the fundamental rights. This is known as the right to constitutional remedies. Other rights can be protected by way of protecting this right. See, what has given the citizen, it has the right to approach to the court for justice when in case any of these rights are violated, they have the right to go and complain it to the court. This law or this right protects all other rights. If someone is forced to do something, they can go to the court and get their solutions. Fundamental rights and duties mean they are directly given to each citizen by the Constitution. See, fundamental rights and duties, what they mean? They mean that they are directly given to the citizens of the India. Any individual, organization or institution such as parliament, assembly, judicial means, official group, police department and any other public institutions are restricted from violating them. See, nobody can violate. What? They cannot violate, they cannot overcome that. Like whoever it is, that might be any individual or might be organization, institutions such as parliaments, assembly, judicial means, official group, public department and any other public institutions, they are not supposed to violate or supposed to violate these rights. In the event of violation, the aggrieved person can directly approach the High Court or the Supreme Court and seek redressal. See what happens. If the events are in the case of violation, the person who is suffering can directly go to the High Court or can directly go to the Supreme Court and seek redressal, means they can seek the remedy, they can get their compensation if any of the rights are violated. In the event of violation of fundamental rights and duties, a writ petition can be filed either in the State High Court or Supreme Court of India. See, in case of any violation of fundamental rights or duties, a written petition or a written order can be filed in State High Court or the Supreme Court of India. If any of these rights are violated, we can even give the written petition or writ petition or the written order to the State High Court or the Supreme Court of India. This is all about 6 fundamental rights. Now let us study about the fundamental duties. The fundamental rights and duties are the two sides of the same coin. See, as I said earlier, both fundamental rights and fundamental duties, they are the two faces of one single coin. The responsibility of an individual to his country is known as the duty. See, each and every individual's responsibility to its country is known as what? Is known as duty. The nation has given us so many things, that is as right. The duty, the things, our responsibility towards the nation is called as what? It is called as duty. In case the people discharge their fundamental duties with self-motivation, the progress of the country becomes easier. See, if each and every individual follows these duties with the self-interest without any force, then the progress of country becomes much more easier. In the constitution, 11 fundamental duties are included. How many fundamental duties are included? There are 11 fundamental duties. Let us see which are those 11 fundamental duties. To respect the constitution, national flag and national anthem. See, it is the duty of each and every individual of India that they should respect the constitution, they should respect the national flag, and also they should respect the national anthem. To follow the noble ideals that inspired our struggle for freedom. It is the duty of every individual to follow the noble ideas which have inspired during the struggle of freedom, to protect the unity of India. The unity of India should be protected. Instead, we should not develop any hatred and all. The unity should be protected. To defend the motherland. It is the duty of each and every individual to defend, to protect our motherland. To promote the spirit of common brotherhood amongst all the people of India. We should always maintain, or we should always have this common spirit of brotherhood among all the people living in India. To preserve our rich heritage. It is the duty of it is the duty of citizens to prevent the rich heritage. Whatever the monuments are there, whatever it is there, we need to protect them. Instead, we are not supposed to harm them or do any harmful things over them. It is our heritage and we are supposed to protect it. To protect and improve the natural environment. We have to protect the natural environment. To develop the scientific temper and the spirit of inquiry. We should have some scientific temper and also spirit of inquiry. To safeguard public property and give up the violence. It is duty of not only me, not only you, each and every individual has the responsibility to protect public property, and we should give up the violence. We should give up the thought of being violent. To strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activities. To strive towards excellence in not only in one particular way, in all spheres of the individual. The parents or the guardians should provide an opportunity for education to their children from the age of 6 to 14 years. See, so the parent, either it might be a parent or a guardian, what they are supposed to do, they should provide an opportunity of education for the children of from 6 years to 14 years. Education is must to the children up to the age of 14 years. In case the citizen does not discharge any of his fundamental duties, the government cannot question it in the court of law. See, in case any among these 11 fundamental duties are not performed, the government, it cannot question in the court of law. Even then, all the citizens are expected to do their duties with self-motivation. If any among us do not follow these 11 duties, the government cannot ask us in the court of law. But still, the people or the each and every individual living in the nation has to follow these fundamental duties with their self-motivation. So, dear students, in this session, we have learnt what we mean by fundamental rights, 6 fundamental rights and 7 fundamental fundamental duties. I hope you all remember these rights and duties. Enjoy the rights and also do your duty well towards the nation. At least we can save our environment, natural environment. Save the natural environment. Stay safe in home and keep studying. Thank you.